If you could go anywhere in life, where would you choose to go? I'm not talking about vacation destinations. I'm talking about your life, your actual life. Where do you want to end up? Your answer to that question reveals more about your future success than almost anything. Because here's the truth, we're all on a journey. The only question is whether we're going to select a destination and steer a course toward it, or whether we're going to be swept along with the tide, letting others and circumstances determine where we end up. Most people drift. They react to whatever comes their way. They let their job, their circumstances, other people's expectations determine their direction. And one day they wake up somewhere they never intended to be, wondering how they got there. But there's another group of people. They're the ones who understand that the choice is it's entirely up to them. They know where they want to go and they deliberately steer toward that. They steer toward that destination every single day. And that makes all the difference. Today, I want to share with you two powerful principles from your roadmap success that will help you become the kind of person who steers their own course. I'm going to talk about how to select your destination and how to grow to your maximum potential. Once you know where you're headed, if you're leading in your family, your workplace, your community, or your ministry, if you're responsible for guiding others, or simply want to take control of your direction, this message is for you. I've spent years studying leadership and working with leaders at every level. I can tell you this, the leaders who make the greatest impact are always the ones who first learned to lead themselves. They're the ones who understand that before you can effectively guide others, you must know how to steer your own course. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the critical importance of selecting a specific destination in your life. Then we'll explore what it really means to reach your maximum potential and the four essential principles that will get you there. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear framework for taking control of your journey and steering toward the life you were meant to live. Think about any significant journey you've taken. Maybe it was a road trip, a flight to another country, or even just a drive across town to an important meeting. What's the first thing you did? You identified where you want to go, right? You selected a destination. Now imagine getting in your car, putting it in drive, and just going. No destination in mind, no map, no GPS, just driving wherever the road takes you. Turning left when you feel like it, when something looks interesting, following other cars because why not? That would be absurd, wouldn't it? You'd burn through your gas, waste your time, end up in who knows where. Yet that's exactly how most of us approach our lives. Your answer to the question, where do you want to go in life, does more to determine whether or not you'll be successful than most. This is mainly the most important factor. Because here's what many people don't realize. We're all traveling. We're all on a journey, whether we're acknowledging it or not. Time doesn't stop. Years don't pause. We are moving inevitably toward the end of our lives. So the real question isn't whether you're on a journey. The real question is, are you going to select a destination and steer a course for it? Or are you going to allow yourself to be swept along with the tide, letting others determine where you'll end up? The choice is entirely up to you, though. Most people drift through life. They don't consciously decide to drift. It just happens. They get up, go to work, come home, repeat. They respond to whatever demands are in place. They pursue whatever opportunity seems easiest for them and most profitable in the moment. They don't think ahead. They don't think of consequences. They're busy, they're moving, but they're not going anywhere specific. And after years of this, they look up and realize they've been living someone else's dream, pursuing someone else's goals, and building someone else's vision. Here's the truth: if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up somewhere else. And that somewhere else is usually wherever the strongest current takes you. Maybe it's where your parents expected you to go. Maybe it's where your job pulled you. Maybe it's just wherever was easiest. But is that really where you want to be? Leaders don't drift, leaders steer. They identify where they want to go, and then they deliberately point their lives in that direction. Every decision, every habit, every use of time becomes a course correction toward their destination. This doesn't mean they're rigid or inflexible. It doesn't mean they never adjust their plans, but it does mean they're intentional. They know where they're headed and they're actively steering toward it. So let me ask you, what specific destination are you steering your life toward? Not a vague wish or a general hope, but a specific destination. Can you articulate it clearly? Can you describe what it looks like? Do you know what success means for you personally? If you can't answer that question with clarity, then you're drifting. And if you're drifting, you're not leading, not even yourself. Once you've selected your destination, the question becomes, how do I get there? How do I actually reach my maximum potential? Because knowing where you want to go is one thing, growing toward that destination is another. And that's what we need to talk about next. What is success? How do you know if you've achieved it? Most people measure success by external markers: wealth, status, position, power. And those things aren't bad, but novelist H.G. Wells said something profound. Wealth, notoriety, place, and power are no measure of success whatsoever. The only true measure of success is the ratio between what we might have been and what we have become. In other words, success comes as the result of growing to your potential. It's about becoming everything you're capable of becoming. It's about maximizing the gifts and abilities you've been given. There's a saying, your potential is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift to Him. Think about that. You've been given nearly limitless power. You're capable of far more than you think you can. Henry Ford observed there's no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. But here's the challenge. We have nearly limitless potential, yet too few of us try to reach it. Why? The answer lies in this truth. We can do anything, but we can't do everything. Many people, everyone around them, decide their agenda in life. They try to please everybody. They say yes to every request. They pursue every opportunity. They spread themselves across a dozen different areas. As a result, they never really dedicate themselves to their purpose in life. They become a jack of all trades and a master of none. Does that describe you? Are you scattered across multiple pursuits, never quite excelling at any of them? Are you constantly busy but not making significant progress toward anything meaningful? If so, you're not alone, but you're also not reaching your potential if that's where you find yourself. You're probably ready to make a change. There are 4 principles that put you on the road to growing toward your potential. Let me walk you through each one. First, you must concentrate on one main goal, not 5 goals, not 10, one main goal. This doesn't mean you can only do one thing in life. It means you identify the one area where you can make your greatest contribution, the one trade that will set you apart, the one focus that aligns with your unique gifts. When you concentrate your energy, time, and resources on one main goal, you create momentum. You develop expertise, you make progress. But when you scatter yourself across multiple competing priorities, you dilute your impact and limit your growth. What's your one main goal? What's the one area where you're going to concentrate your efforts? Second, concentrate on continual improvement. Growth isn't a one-time event. It's not something you achieve and then check off your list. Growth is a continuous process. Every day you should be getting a little bit better. Every week you should be learning something new. Every month you should be developing your skills further. It doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, small, consistent improvements over the course of your life create far greater results. The question is, what are you doing today that's making you better than you were yesterday? What books are you reading? What skills are you practicing? What habits are you building? If you're not intentionally pursuing improvement, you're actually declining, because in a world that's constantly changing, standing still means you're falling behind. Forget the past. Learn from your experiences. Remember the lessons, but don't live there. Too many people are stuck in the past. They're either dwelling on their failures, letting past mistakes define their present possibilities, or they're on their laurels, living off yesterday's successes instead of pursuing tomorrow's opportunities. It is over. You can't change it. You can't redo it. All you can do is learn from it and move forward. Your potential isn't behind you, it's ahead of you. Your best days aren't in the past, they're in the future, waiting for you to reach them. So let it go. Release the weight of what was and embrace the possibility of what can be. Focus on the future. This naturally follows from forgetting the past. Your potential is always ahead of you. Your possibilities are always in front of you. When you focus on the future, you think about who you're becoming, not just what you're doing. You consider the trajectory you're on. You ask yourself, if I keep doing what I'm doing, where will I be in 5 years, in 10 years, or even in 20 years? Future focused people make different decisions than past focused people. They invest in growth rather than comfort. They delay gratification for the sake of greater long-term rewards. They plant seeds today for harvests they won't see for years. This is how you grow toward your potential. You keep your eyes fixed on where you're going, and you take consistent steps in that direction. So let me bring this all together for you. You are on a journey. That's not optional. Time is passing. You're moving through life, whether you're intentional about it or not. The question is, are you steering your course, or are you being swept along? First, you must select a destination. Where do you want to go? What kind of person do you want to become? What legacy do you want to leave? Get clear on that. Write it down, make it specific, then commit to the growing toward your potential by following these 4 principles. Concentrate on one main goal. Concentrate on continual improvement. Forget the past. Focus on the future. When you know your purpose in life and you're growing to reach your maximum potential, you're well on your way to being a success. I want you to take a moment right now and think about your life. Are you drifting or steering? Be honest with yourself. If you're drifting, that can change today. Right now, you can decide where you want to go. You can identify your one main goal. You can commit to continual improvement. You can release the past and focus on the future. And if you're already steering, if you already have a clear destination, then the question becomes, are you growing? Are you improving? Are you becoming more today than you were yesterday? Are you focused on the main goal? Or are you still trying to be everything to everyone? These aren't easy questions, but they're essential questions. And how you answer them will determine whether you reach your potential or you fall short of it. Here's what I want you to do. After this video, take 10 minutes, write down your answers to these questions. Where do I want to be in 5 years? What does success look like for me specifically? What is my one main goal? The area where I can make my greatest contribution. Then ask yourself, what's one thing I can do this week to improve in that area? What's one step I can take toward my destination? Don't try to change everything at once. Just take one step. Steer your course 1 degree in that direction. And then tomorrow, do it again. That's how you grow. One day, one decision, one step at a time. And remember, we're all on a journey, every single one of us. The only question is whether you're going to select a destination, steer a course for it, or whether you're going to be swept along with the tide, letting others determine where you end up. The choice is entirely up to you. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment below and tell me, what specific destination are you steering your life toward? What's your one main goal? Let's encourage each other in this journey. Thank you so much.